Well, the January transfer window has now closed, and if I'm being honest, I'm surprised that boy in the red, who sometimes turns up, hasn't turned up because, well, I may have signed Philippe Coutinho. Yes, hello, welcome into Livestreams Sports here for another episode of Glory Hunter. If you missed the last one, go and check it out. It was just at the start of the January window, that last episode. And if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of these Glory Hunter episodes Monday to Friday at 11 a.m. You should just hit that subscribe button. Just do it. You won't regret it. Something that we may regret, however, is signing Philippe Coutinho on loan. That's all it is. It's an on loan from Barcelona. They're actually paying half of his wages, and we're paying, well, they're actually paying more than half of his wages, to be fair. We're only paying 150,000 of his £375,000 a week wages. There is an optional future fee of £22.5 million, so we'll see how he does. He's 30 years of age now, the Brazilian. He's still got very good stats when you look at them. They're dribbling 17 first touch, 17 long shots, 17 technique. Passing is good as well. Good vision, good off the ball, good flair. He's a very good playmaker, tricky player. I imagine him coming in off that left-hand side, maybe in off the right-hand side, because obviously we don't play with an attacking midfield player. But coming in off the wing as an inverted winger, I think he could be very, very exciting. And he'll be an option there in the wide area. And I know what you're thinking, why did we bring him in? We had lots of people in those positions. Yes, but the transfer window happened, and our financial situation happened. So you can see our finances just now. It says our overall balance is 12 million, but if you actually look back in January, we were in the red. We were in the negative by £3 million. So some sales had to be made to try and sort out our finances. And the first one of those had been organised for quite a while, to be honest. Daniel Vass hadn't really played for us this season. If you look, he played, one game off the bench. Hadn't played. So he went back to Denmark playing for Midtjylland. £2.5 million they paid for him. Again, just wasn't getting a game anymore. He did well in his first season when he arrived at the club. It started off as a first choice right back. Got that injury, remember. And then unfortunately he kind of never properly recovered. He scored a couple of fantastic free kicks, I remember, in the same game. But yeah, never really reached the heights we were hoping for. I know he was older when he arrived. See, we've lost some money on him, but we made some money back with that £2.5 million sale. And obviously that was nowhere near enough to properly get us some money in. And an offer came in for Justin Kluivert, who, remember, we didn't even know we had before he came back to play for us this season. Had started 5 games in the league. That was all. He hadn't really been a first choice fixture because Cole Palmer kind of started taking over on that left hand side instead of him. And Tottenham came in with a £25 million offer. And I thought, yeah, I think we could probably replace Kluivert with somebody who's just as good, if not better, for less than £25 million. That's exactly what we've done. We sold him to Tottenham for £25 million. He's been there for a month now, and he's not played the game. So I think that's a pretty good deal for us, getting £25 million for a player who's kind of an option in the attacking midfield area. And Tottenham continued to come in to try to buy our players, and they've bought Isco from us as well. You remember we signed Isco for free at the start of the season. Only played 3 games because he got himself injured. He also wanted to leave because he wasn't playing enough, and to be honest, he couldn't break into the team. Our central midfielders, there was too many good ones in there. He couldn't get in either of the wide positions. So Tottenham signed him for £21 million. So we got basically £50 million from Tottenham for 2 of our backup attacking midfield players. I think that's probably a pretty decent deal from us. He has actually been playing for Tottenham. Twice he's come off the bench since he's went there, so he's playing a bit more than Kluivert. But yeah, got rid of 2 of our attacking midfield options and made nearly £50 million. And that's why we brought in Coutinho. Coutinho is going to cover for those 2, and because he's only on loan, he shouldn't get too annoyed if he's not going to be playing. So our options in those kind of wide attacking roles are still Zaniolo and Palmer, who are probably going to be the starters. We've still got Pellegrini, who can play in that position as well, and we've got Coutinho as well. Basically, Coutinho's going to replace Kluivert and Isco. And that was the outs, but there was still something I really wanted to do in this January window. I didn't think we were creating enough chances from out wide in the wing-back positions. The average ratings for Spinazzola and Odriozola and Lazaro weren't really that great, and I thought we need to try and get some more quality in those wide wing-back areas. And one player I was looking at very closely and actually had an offer accepted and offered him a contract as well was Jonas Svensson. Annoyingly, he chose to go from his team Adana in Turkey to Tottenham for £11.5 million. We offered the same amount of money. We actually offered 90 grand a week, but he's accepted an offer from Tottenham for 70, which is again very annoying. He's the sort of player we wanted. He started the 2 games in the league since he's went to Tottenham, and that was one option out in the right. I thought this could be a really, really cracking wing back for us. Unfortunately, Tottenham, not only buying 2 of our players, bought a player who we wanted to buy. Before we brought in Coutinho, we were looking to possibly replace Kluivert with Karim Adeyemi. You can see again, Inter Milan just bought him for £16 million. We had the same offer accepted. We offered him quite a lot a week. He's on 150. We offered him 190 grand a week. But again, he chose to go. No, it's not only annoying because he hasn't chosen to come to us. He's went to a direct rival who are top of the league at the moment and made them infinitely better. He's chosen to go to Inter Milan, which is very, very frustrating. And I think it's going to be an important piece of the offence there. That's why I was happy to let Kluivert go, because I thought we could get Adeyemi. Instead, he chose to go to Inter Milan, and we've now got Coutinho instead. We did, however, manage to bring someone in to play on the left-hand side, and that's Victor Christiansen, the Dane 20-year-old who signed from Copenhagen for £14 million. That's including instalments. It wasn't all up front. Looks a very solid player to play in that left wing-back role. We see very nice defensive stats, nice going forward, and very good physicals as well. Him and Spinazzola can rotate that position between them. Spinazzola's 29 now. There was a lot of interest in him during the window as well. I thought we might have lost Spinazzola, but thankfully he stayed. So the 2 of them can rotate on that left-hand side. It means that Desciglio can offer the third choice option for both the right and left-hand side. Desciglio was a backup left-back, so he couldn't really back up on the right if need be. So we've now got Lazaro and we've got Odriozola on the right-hand side. We've got Christensen, Spinazzola on the left, and Desciglio can cover either should we get some injuries there. Remember as well, Calafiori is out on loan. He was our left back for a long time last year when Spinazzola was injured. When Calafiori returns, that's going to add even more depth on the left-hand side. I also like Christensen because he's left-footed. Spinazzola's really good out in their left, but he's right-footed, so I don't feel like he gets enough width really out on that left-hand side. So getting Christensen there, left-footed, getting him down the line, he's already got an assist for us in SerieA in his 1 game that he's played since he's arrived. So I think it's going to be good. He's also got his first Danish cap as well. He's now got 1 cap, and that was when he joined us. So I think he's going to be good for the future. 20 years of age, already a 3-star player with some nice stats. He could develop into a world-class left-back. And this was possibly another panicky one, I'll admit. This is the last signing we made. It was Nuno Tavares. He was being offered out on loan from Arsenal, and I thought, it's going to add some depth in there. We'd lost Davide Santon. He went out. We've obviously lost Vass. I thought, let's bring in a little more depth. He can play both sides. That was my thoughts as well. We could cover left and right back. He can also play as far forward as left attacking mid if we need him there as well. So it offers some more options further up the park. In on loan from Arsenal. And you can see from his contract there, we are not paying any of anything to have him here. We're just paying his wages, and we've got a future fee of 2.4 million if we want to buy. Again, I'm not a great player. I could develop a little bit more, but I think a solid enough player, and I think maybe for £2 million we might bring him in permanently at the end of the season. I'm not sure. We'll see how he does, but another backup option in the wing back area. So that was our transfer dealings. We've, given ourselves a little bit more money in the bank. Also the wage budget. You can see we're currently spending over, it says. That's only because I've adjusted the budget quite a lot towards transfer budget. If we move that, then we won't be over the wage budget. We're currently spending £2.5 million a week on wages. We were up at 2.7, 2.8, so we've saved a lot. Isco's on 100 and something £1,000 a week. Kluivert was on a lot as well. Vass was on quite a lot, so we've got rid of a lot of them, brought in some people as well. And think we've got Coutinho in on loan, who's on 150 grand a week. That'll drop even more when he leaves. We're sorting the wage budget out. We kind of went a bit overboard, but now we're getting rid of a lot of the players who are on stupidly high wages and are not contributing to the team. Anyway, the serious bit over in terms of getting money sorted and the financial Good financial management. We'll get that out the way now, and we'll have a look at some of the games we've been playing. You can see we haven't lost since the last episode. However, there are a couple of annoying draws in there I'll get to. We did beat Hellas Verona 2-0. Goals from Thielmann and Pellegrini late on to win that one. We beat Atalanta. It was a really good win. Goals from... I'm going to change the way I've been saying Samuel Gigot. He's French. Well, he's Algerian, and it's French they speak in Algeria. So I'm going to say Gigot instead of Hiho, however I was trying to say earlier. Gigot. I think that's the right way to say it. I spoke to my girlfriend who did French quite far into university, and she thinks that's how it would be pronounced. So Gigot is going to be his pronunciation. He scored his first goal for us, and Cole Palmer got one as well. We then continued into the next game where Gigot and Palmer scored again in the Italian Cup third round. Abraham and Zaniolo got the other ones there. And then it's two disappointing draws. We drew up against bottom of the league Perugia. Yeah, and that was only because Thielmann got himself a penalty. Tammy Abraham had been out injured for a while, so he picked up a little injury. I think it was in the Genoa game. He picked up an injury, so he wasn't there for the Perugia game. We then drew annoyingly against Empoli as well, conceding late on after Veretout scored for us. And then we beat Sampdoria 3-2. Again, goals for Palmer and Zaniolo. They started to have a bit of a comeback. Thankfully, it didn't happen. But you can see Empoli and Perugia, we drew games against. Perugia down the bottom. We've only won one game all season. And they've got a draw against us, unfortunately. Empoli doing surprisingly well. They're up in 9th position, not too far behind us. But you can see in the league table... Everyone's played 20 games now, just over halfway through the season, and we're on 40 points. 2 points a game. I suppose I can't complain too much about that, but we really could do with doing slightly better, because you can see Inter Milan, 51 points. They're 11 ahead of us, and Juventus are 6 ahead of us. So there's a big gap forming at the top. We've got to try and close it down to Inter and close it down to Juventus. It's going to be difficult, because Inter have strengthened during the window, as have Juventus, but I think we've strengthened as a squad as well, so hopefully we can improve. You can see today we've got one game for you in today's episode, and that's away to AC Milan. Milan, who are in 7th, it's going to be a very tough game. And then in the next episode, if we go back to the schedule, you can see there's some interesting games coming up. We play Inter Milan in the 4th round of the Italian Cup, and then we play Juventus in the league. That is going to be one heck of a double header. So I hope you're looking forward to that next episode. But today, it's going to be just the one game against AC Milan after all that transfer chat we had. So this is a team that we're going to go with today, mainly because Coutinho's not really been here that long. He only arrived on transfer deadline day. One of the reasons I didn't show you transfer deadline day, it was fairly boring. Most of the transfers are done beforehand. Just Coutinho was the exception to that. He was the panicky signing to come in there. So he's not going to start today. However, one of our new signings, Christensen, is. So it's going to be Patricio in goal, Zagadou, Gigot and Romagnoli at the back, Odriozola and Christensen as the wing backs, Camavinga and Veretout in midfield. Palmer gets a game on the right, Zaniolo on the left, and Tammy Abraham up front. You can see their goal scorers, 13 for Abraham, not as many as last year, but we've got some more goal contributions from Cole Palmer being 10, Zaniolo's got 7 as well. We're getting goals from the attacking three, which is the important thing. So here we go, up against AC Milan, who've actually signed Ziyech, who's playing in the right wing position for them. So they've improved as well in the January window. So we'll see if they try and make a push for the European places. Hopefully that doesn't start today up against us. Hopefully we can hold on for the victory. Veretout with the corner into the front post, and Gigot gets his 3rd goal of the season. Samuel Gigot, he scored a few headers at that front post this season, and here is another one, his 3rd of the season. You can see he's got 2 defenders to try and beat there, and he does indeed beat them in the air, and we lead 1-0. A nice start to this game. Well, we've had the highlight for that headed goal there, but that's the only highlight there's been in the first half. A very quiet first half. We'll take that, though, as we're leading 1-0. Well, this has been a very boring game. We've only had the highlight for the goal. Palmer there is going to be coming off. We'll bring on Coutinho, move Zaniolo over to his favoured right side, and Coutinho can play on the left. And looking at midfield, Camavinga's a bit tired as well, so we'll bring on Pellegrini to play alongside Veretout for the last 25 minutes. Hopefully that doesn't negatively affect us too much here. The time's still ticking down. There's not been a highlight in the second half. There's only 10 minutes to go now, and we're still holding on to this 1-0 lead. It's a corner kick from AC Milan. Zagadou gets rid of it, only as far as Ziyech, though. And Benacer with it. Drives into the box and towards Rebic, and he's tucked that in. And they've scored an equaliser with 10 minutes to go. And we're going to have to make a little change here, surely. Tammy's not played well. We'll bring on Sesko to play up front. Looking at the instructions, we'll go a little bit more direct and we'll play a little bit higher of a tempo. And let's see how we do. There's another highlight just after their goal. And Gijo with it. Comes down the line. Forward to Odriozola, who's in behind the defence now. Can he get the ball into the box? He's forced out wide. Finds Zaniolo. Down to the byline. Back to Benacer and it's cleared away. And Ziyech plays the ball around with Salamakers. And the ball's launched forward. Romagnoli comes away with the ball though. Finds Christensen. Pellegrini on the left-hand side. Christensen through to Coutinho. Can he put the ball in the box? Christensen does. Zaniolo gets fouled in the box. Surely that's a penalty kick, ref. You don't have to check VAR for it. I can see him. Zaniolo was pushed over. I can see it. The keeper's out protesting right next to the referee there. They're checking for a penalty. It's going to be awarded a penalty. And who's going to step up and take this? Veretout should still be out there. He's a penalty kick taker. He steps up from 12 yards and he tucks that in the bottom corner. What a goal from Veretout. Fantastically taken penalty into that bottom corner. A well-worked chance which resulted in the foul. And a good finish from Veretout in the bottom corner. And we lead here with just 5 minutes to go. There's 3 minutes added time. Can we hold on to this victory? We can indeed. Not many highlights in that game, but every single one resulted in a goal. And we won that one 2-1. It was a very even match. We've done well to come away with the victory. Goals from Gijo and Veretout getting us the win. So we play before some of the other teams around us, but that has put us comfortably in third place. You can see even if Lazio win their game, we're still ahead of them. Just 3 points behind Juventus and Inter, but they do still have a game in hand. I say 3 behind Inter. We're 3 behind Juventus, 8 behind Inter, but they both do have games in hand. And we play against those two teams in the next episode. Inter in the 4th round of the Italian Cup, and we play Juventus in our next league game, and that's going to be the double header in the next episode. So if you have enjoyed this one, lots of transfer chat and a wonderful 2-1 victory away to AC Milan, please do leave a like on the video. It really does help us out. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already so you don't miss an episode. And until the next one where it is Inter and Juventus, we'll see you then.